Apparently, free speech costs $8 a month. So there you go.
Yeah.
But
in with it, well, all right, wait. In a fascist society, free speech costs $8 a month. In a democratic society, free speech doesn't cost anything.
See it, and so that's our political soapbox. But
yeah, I can't wait till you get to on rules of
yeah. I think that one's coming up.
That's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, that one's coming up. So yeah,
Tell
definitely.
Me when you're gonna do that one. I'll be right there with you, man.
Oh, matter of fact, if you want, I mean, you can come on the show on that one. You could drop in and make another cameo appearance on Rules and Requisition.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, man, you're welcome anytime. You are welcome anytime. And
yeah, I just didn't want to, I just didn't want to come on the episode when you were, doing Harry Mudd. I just didn't.
Well, see, again, Harry Mudd is one of those characters, and it's so good. The character of Harry Mudd is so good. It's just to the point where you love to hate him, and you love to punch him as well. But yeah, just despicable characters that just gets under your skin. And that's how you know it's such a great character, because it gets under your skin, and he gets under your skin the way he does. So yeah, that's my mark, and that's how I know that Harry Mudd is honestly, it's a great character. He's a well-written character. So yeah. Because you just want to punch him.
Yesterday, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
So yesterday I was helping out my friend David Ayers with a computer problem, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I could finally help out." Could finally help him out. He posted something on Facebook that he was using an external drive. He had a Western Digital My Passport drive, and he was trying to put all of his pictures on it. And I said, "Well, how many pictures do you have?" And he goes, "I have like over 45 years worth of pictures." And I'm like, because David Ayers is he's a special effects makeup artist, and he worked on Close Encounters. He worked on what was the movie? He worked on Empire of the Ants.
Okay.
Tourist Trap, the original Hills Have Eyes, and he has all of like these animal studies as well, because when you're doing special effects makeup for, say like you're going to do like a werewolf or something like that, and you're doing makeup for a werewolf, you have to have, like video of animals in the wild, how they look, how they move, all this other stuff. So he had all of these little videos and all these other things. So, and it was just, I was like, wow, like
oh man, like,
yeah, like over 40 years of pictures, and he was trying to put the bulk of that onto a new external drive. But the new external drive was not formatted yet, so he did the transfer, but he never formatted it.
Oh.
And when he did the transfer, all of those pictures came out as like white. Well, they came out as like white squares that you couldn't see. You could click on them. You
click and open them, and
each picture to the
But as far as actually viewing them, you couldn't view them. Yeah.
As far as actually viewing them in a list, you couldn't view them.
Right.
So I was like, you basically have to format them. But there is a, I was just giving him a couple of pointers. He knew what he wanted to do, And I said, well, if you did a scan, I think in Windows there's the check disk command at command prompt.
Mm-hmm.
You can check the disk for errors. And I said to him, I said, well, did you ever check the original? Because the original external drive that he had all the pictures on it. I said, did you ever check that drive for errors? Because you moved that data through the computer to the new drive, and if that had errors on it, you transferred those errors to the new drive. And he goes, no.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let's check that disk. I'm sure that he did, but he didn't want me to remotely get into his computer, which
that's fair.
Is understandable.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
But, but I was like, I sent him a support document from Western Digital. I found it on their site. So it basically says, if you see your data, but you can't see pictures in the list view, there may have been some sort of like corruption.
Right.
So you'd have to do like a scan disk to basically like scan it, and then I said, you may have to format the new disk again. I said, so I said, go and format the new disk. And then, but he said there were a lot of his icons, his file folders and stuff like that. On like the bottom toolbar, are gone. And I was like, what do you mean they're gone? He goes, the programs are there, but the things are gone. I said, well, you can pin them. Like like if you go to the Windows Start button, you can actually find those icons again and drag them to the bar and just drop them in there.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, okay. So I will find out. Hopefully tomorrow or whenever. I'll give him another call. But
cool.
I said,
cool.
While I have you here, it's like going, while I have you here, would you like to be on Model Citizen? He said, oh yeah, great. So yeah, we'll have
awesome.
Model Citizen one Saturday.
Awesome. So Jesse,
we will talk to the man who makes giant ants for Empire of the Ants. So
yes, and we will not be asking him to make giant slugs with shrimp forks either. So no, Thomas, no. Anyways, so Jessa in the chat says that she has a Mac laptop that exploded.
Ooh.
Wow, that is not good. Is the shit on it gone forever? Well, I don't know. I'd have to.
Exploded from the internal battery. Did the internal battery explode or?
Yeah, I'd have to physically see it in order to be able to tell you that. But yeah, like George said, did the battery explode or something like that?
Because usually those batteries, it's a lithium ion battery, but
they can.
If the cells are if you keep it plugged in all the time, and you do not discharge it,
then it's from the battery. Yeah.
It's from the battery. Okay. Because the battery can expand at all. It'll form a like a lithium gas, and it'll actually expand. That's why
that's
why they checked the it just
it just grew. So
it just grew. Yeah. So it expanded. One of the things with those batteries is when you get them, or I guess if you get a new battery, you can charge them, but you shouldn't leave the power on all the time. You shouldn't leave it connected all the time.
Yeah.
I did that with Jeff's laptop. He had like an Asus that had the same type of battery configuration, and the battery expanded so much that it pushed the mouse pad out of the way. It actually popped the mouse pad off of the top of the keyboard section, and I was like, okay. I was like, he goes, is this bad? And I said, yes. I said, give me the laptop right now. I took it all apart. I took the battery out. I
He's like, it's
Threw it
not
away. I
good.
was like, man, that thing's gonna explode in a minute.
He's like, it's not good. Is this bad? Well, it's not good. But
Jessica says I've been loving it. I've been lugging it around for years. Has my wedding on it. Okay. It is retrievable. You can retrieve it.
So yeah, you should be able
If
to.
it's a MacBook, I don't know. Is it a MacBook or MacBook Air? I don't know. Let me see. Because the bottom, I think you could take the bottom pan off. If you take the bottom pan off, you could possibly disconnect the battery and take the battery out. But depending on how it's configured, because I know that the Apple products, they like to they like to use these two glued expandable strips of glue to keep the battery in there, so it's not rattling around.
Right.
It's Apple. Okay. Yeah, we'd have to get it.
Yeah. Is it a Mac? Was it a? What are the two? Is it MacBook Pro or is it MacBook? MacBook Air or Air?
Yeah. I mean, it's either MacBook Air or MacBook Pro.
Oh, so
2000 is, she said it's white. It's an old 2008. Oh, I think
so
I think it's just a MacBook.
It's probably just a MacBook then. So
it's the old, it's the old plastic white one. That's right. Mm-hmm. It's white, yeah.
So yeah, you should be able. I would think you should be able to retrieve the data on it. At least like pictures and your videos and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, if you could take it to
service.
take it to someplace near you that services Apple products, because Apple's funny about their stuff like that. So if you find someplace if you find any place near you that services Apple, definitely take it there and let them know you wanted to retrieve your data from off of there, because your battery went boom.
Yeah.
Unless they could find a way to fix your laptop and not have to go through all that. But yeah, definitely just take it to an Apple store. Yep. And
the one thing with the Apple store is that they may try to sell her a new battery to put into there just to get it off.
Say, look at man,
do that.
Man, look at this. This is Apple we're talking about. They're gonna sell you a whole new laptop.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. Well, we can't get it off of there. It's too old. I'm like, that's.
It's like, oh well, we don't have the parts. It's too old. It's bullshit, man.
A place that I used to use.
So, yes, Jess, I love Apple with a passion. With a passion of 1,000.
All that loves is.
With a passion of 1,000 suns, I love Apple.
I'm trying to find that place that I brought the iPad to. iRescue? I'm trying to find it. Trying to find it here. Yeah, I wouldn't take it to Best Buy.
No, because look here, man. Best Best Buy charge. Best Buy loves to charge more than Apple.
Yeah.
And here's the thing I love and I hate about Best Buy. It is almost like the nerd tech equivalent of Disney World. But everything is just so overpriced.
Yeah.
Oh God. So
no, you don't want that. I'm trying to find the repair service that I use. It could be iRepair. Let me see it. Well, let's see. There's Geek Squad. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, Jess, whatever you're doing is working. If Best Buy you go to gets you get the best deals and everything. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, keep doing it.
Best Buy, that's like, I don't know. I wouldn't trust them with a Bowmar, brain calculator. I just wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean,
no.
There's
Best Buy.
Only thing no. The only thing that I would maybe say to do would be to take it there to get your system cleaned out, virus scan or something like that. But even that, you could do that yourself. So
I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
So the bottom pan, the white plastic MacBook, just to take the battery out, just to take the battery off of it.
Oh yeah.
2008. Here they are. 2008 Apple MacBook white laptops. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's just the top cover. Let's see. Trying to find it.
And see, this reminds me is that I'm so.
Yourself.
Oh yeah, it's for anybody watching, listen. What? It's easy. It's easy to do this. It's easy to do it yourself. I know there's a lot of people that may be intimidated by it. Opening up a laptop or a desktop or anything like that. But it's super easy.
Let's see. Oh.
He was a mathlete and had trophies. Well, you're way smarter than me. That's all I could tell you.
Oh, wait a minute. The Apple MacBook A1181 13.3 inch laptop, I think that battery just drops right out. I thought it did. It looks like it's underneath the
Is that it's one of the ones I get? It just slides out.
It just drops out. Yeah, it has. It has a lock on it. Well, that I don't know which one. I don't know. The one that Jessica has. It said it's a 2008. I'm looking at. If it's the plastic one that I'm thinking of, then there should be a just to the right of the battery port, there should be a locking, like a locking mechanism, and
Right.
put like a dime or a nickel or something, or like a quarter in there, and then just like turn it and unlock it, and it should just drop right out. If that's the one I'm thinking of, I don't know, but she said that the battery expanded, so
Mm-hmm.
if the battery expanded, yeah, it's probably. She said, I remember the lock button. So there is a lock button. It does have a lock. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you could just drop that battery right out of there and just move it out, plug it back in, and then you should be able to start it up and then retrieve your photos, or if it was photos and video, you could just get like an external drive. I don't think you have to use Time Machine for that. I think you might be able just to just like grab those photos and throw it onto the drive.
Yeah.
The Time Machine. Well, if you're using Mac, the Time Machine backup would actually format the external drive for you. I think that's what Time Machine backup does.
Okay.
So I should try it tomorrow. Oh, good luck. Good.
Cool.
Cool beans. Look at that.
Yeah.
We help somebody.
Let me know how it turns out, Jess.
We're actually the help desk.
So
I help somebody.
Yeah. Let us know how it turns out, Jess. So that way, if you need any more help or something like that, then we'd be happy to get you going. So now we're gonna see how it's going, but we are on TikTok right now, so you have to see how it's going. But
do we have to curse some more? Or?
Yes. it's
Raise our ratings.
It's the law. Like, it's almost like we have to. Like, you have to start cursing now, man. But I would say take this as a lesson to everybody. Back up your stuff. And I'm bad about that. I'm bad about that myself. I definitely need to start, doing more battery backups on, data backups and the whole nine. I'm bad about that. I need to listen to my own advice on that one. I do. I'm so bad about that.
I do.
But
I do a monthly backup. We have a 4 terabyte drive, so I do a monthly backup for all of our computers. But I do want to invest in something called a Synology, the Synology NAS. That's really cool. I set one up for my friend who's an accountant, and it's it's basically a hard drive that is attached to the internet. So it's like your own personal cloud.
Okay.
So you can create your own personal cloud. Prices on that are it depends on business.
Mm-hmm.
You can go as high as 12 drives, 2 hot swappables, and 10 drives. 10. I think you could put up to 64 You can have up to 64 terabytes, like with up to 64 terabytes, like per slot. But you would actually do that. It would be a RAID. It would be like a RAID array. So RAID array is it's a redundant array of independent disks. You would either do RAID 0 or RAID 5. I set it up as RAID 0 because she just has 2 drives.
Okay.
And I think she's at 8 terabytes. She hasn't even scratched the surface of that. And she has close to 10 years worth of tax records for everybody. She, because she does, taxes for people, and she has all these clients. So I'm like, so she hasn't even scratched the surface of that yet. At 8 terabytes, but it's 2 8 terabyte drives. Now in RAID, 2 8 terabyte drives are not 16; they are 8 terabytes, because what happens with RAID is RAID gives you fault tolerancy. And what I mean by fault tolerancy is everything that is being written on drive 1 is being written on drive 2. So if drive 1 should crap out, it should have an error, should have like a surge or whatever.
Yeah.
Drive 2 is picking up the same amount of data, the same exact data, and you'll have a green light on both drives. If one drive goes, red, if it starts to do red and green, it means that the data is starting to, get corrupted because the drive is starting to crap out. If the drive craps out, you pull that drive out, you take another new drive, you slap it in, and because it's a RAID array, any drive that should fail or malfunction should write its data to that other drive. And that's how you have fault tolerancy. So.
Cool.
We'll have to get some Synology, we'll have to get a Synology for the station.
That and a Flipper Zero.
Flipper Zero.
You're going to need a couple Flipper Zeros, yes.
They're coming down in price. They're actually coming. I saw.
Are they?
At, $150 for one. They're in the $300, $400 range. But there's so many things you could do with that. One thing I saw that was really cool with Flipper Zero was, if you have a key, you could put the key. You can actually take your key, put it onto the screen, and you could basically do a digital trace of the key, and then convert that to an STL, put it on your 3D printer, and 3D print a bump key. And I was like, dude, that's friggin' awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, yeah. That's just another reason why I need a Flipper Zero.
I saw that, and I saw the other guy from Hack 5 doing the hotel key. He's doing the hotel key where he had a flipper, had the Flipper Zero in his pocket, and he he bumped up against this other guy who had a hotel, key,
right,
in his wallet, and he basically gleaned the data off the key, and then found out where the guy was, and then did a hack on the Wi-Fi system, of the hotel, found out where this guy, was staying. Now, this was an experiment, so he basically bumped up against his friend, so he hit the button, and then the door just opened, and I was like, wow, that's really scary. So.
Yeah, there's so much stuff you could do with a Flipper Zero. It's scary, but at the same time,
but it's cool.
It's so cool. It really is. But yeah, you're gonna need a Flipper Zero, so that's in the budget.
Flipper Zero.
That's in the
budget.
That's in the budget.
If it's in the budget.
That's in the budget. We got Flipper Zero in the budget.
The radio station budget. Yeah, we need Flipper Zero.
We need Flipper Zero. So
why do you need Flipper Zeros? Well, when we go to VidCon, we're going to need rooms. So
yeah. So Gretchen, put that in the budget. We need Flipper Zeros in the budget. We need for educational purposes.
Yes, for educational purposes only.
Yes. because
educating other people that they shouldn't mess with the the help desk. Sorry.
right, absolutely. So, and besides, you know how many tutorials I could give with on a Flipper Zero? That's money right there. That's feeding the block, as what Thomas would say. That's feeding the block right there. Gretchen, put that in the budget, please.
Just getting to the website now. Where?
Just currently George is
that's actually pretty.
George is living way up north in the cold, in the snow. So that's where George.
I'm in the wonderful Pocono Mountains.
Where
Pocono Mountains, yes.
Where it is very cold.
Where the air hurts my face. Yes. It's not Alaska. It's about it's 19 degrees up here right now. So, Flipper Zero, $169 from Flipper.com. They're restocking soon. Okay.
Oh well, you know what?
Prototype boards. They got a Wi-Fi dev board for Flipper Zero. I can wreak all types of havoc with that. Oh, cool! They got a video game module. You could put Doom on it. I want that, dude.
See?
You could put Doom on Flipper Zero. That's awesome.
So yeah, we're gonna need
a dev board for Flipper Zero, $29.
So, yeah, we're gonna need at least 2, maybe about 4, but definitely 2. So we're gonna need some Flipper Zeros because everything what you could do with this is just amazing.
It's got breakout ports on it on the front of it. That's really cool. So you could wire. Okay, so that's where the development boards come in. 1, 2, 3. So there's.
So yeah.
18 dev board. Okay, so that's the Wi-Fi dev board. Cool. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this right now.
Yeah, it's for.
I'm salivating over this. Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna stop. Right.
So for anybody that doesn't know, a Flipper Zero is. Let's just say basically it's like a Swiss Army knife of tech. So essentially what you could do with it is pretty much almost kind of anything with it. You can, as George told you the story earlier, you can actually duplicate keys from it. You can operate, Roku remotes. You can open up car doors. You can anything that has to do with tech. You can use it just to throw a little monkey wrench into everything. And so it's one of those, like I said, a Swiss Army knife of tech. It is a great tool. Something definitely you can learn a lot from if if you're like us, cybersecurity enthusiasts. And so, yeah, this is it's a great tool for you to learn, and it's just a lot of fun. Just the stuff you could do with it.
How can I get in trouble today from the cops? Let's see.
So how can I push my luck? So what
Free
could I do?
At gas stations. Let's see.
So what can I do to push my luck today?
It's funny because the new gas pumps have at least here in Pennsylvania we have the Apple Pay. So if you put your credit card toward the reader, you can it'll read the chip on the credit card. And that's how you pay for gas. But there have been scams where people are actually making their own readers and putting their own reader over the reader. So when you go to pay for gas, you're taking your card, putting it to their reader, and what that reader is doing is it's recording the identification pin off of your credit card, and that person is taking your credit card information. So certain things you have to look out for, like when you're doing that, especially with the swipe, the swipe readers at supermarkets. People are actually putting their own, I guess, like a cowling. This one guy actually 3D printed it. I guess he must have bought one of the readers. He scanned it with a 3D, with a 3D scanner, and he made his own top, which he took like little glued strips, and he put it on top of the thing, like without anybody knowing it, and they were just putting their credit card, and then at a certain point, he came into the store at night. He just grabbed the top of the reader and just pulled it off and put it in his bag, so now he has all these credit cards, and he could charge anything to them, which is really scary.
That is scary. And unless the scammers like that do that, they've gotten better about keeping it because it used to be with gas stations and the gas pumps, you could just take the card reader and almost, if you pulled hard enough, you would pull it out, so that if those aren't supposed to pull out like that, you've got to unscrew them, you got to you've got to force them out. And unless, like I said, the way they've attached things has gotten better, a few good hard pulls, and you'll pull it right out, and it won't, and you will foil the scammer's plans.
But then zero.
But then if you have to
do that,
right?
You could just take the device and put it right to the thing and just go, okay, well, like you read the the RFID I guess chip in it.
Yeah.
But,
and so
that's why we need a flipper.
That's why you need a flipper.
That's why for educational purposes.
That's why we need a flipper, for educational purposes. So we can teach you how to stay safe in these streets. So you won't get your identity stolen. So you won't, next time you look at your bank account and you got goose eggs all through it. That's not good. You need a way to protect yourselves. That's what we're here for, and that's why we need a Flipper Zero. So donate to our Patreon. Donate to our Patreon. Help us out. So we're gonna have content up on our Patreon. I don't know what it is yet. We're gonna figure something out. So George and I are gonna talk about it. We're gonna get something up. We'll do something. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. George will figure it out because he's smart. I'm smart. We'll figure something out. And we'll make exclusive content just for you.
Well, I'm not too smart if I don't have a Flipper Zero. So
that's what the Patreon's for, man. So we can get the Flipper Zero. So trying to help out any way that we can to hurry up, to speed up the process on getting this Flipper Zeros. So patreon.com/the Helpdesk.
slash flipper zero. No, slash.
Slash flipper zero. Going to the flipper zero tier. So we are coming near the top of the hour, and so let's go ahead and reset the show right now. This is the Help Desk, and I am your host, the Angry IT Nerd. I am Gilbert. I am here with my co-host, the best co-host in all of the internet. It is Techno George, and we are here talking flipper zeros and tech and exploding batteries. So,
exploding batteries, yes.
That's what we're doing. We're talking tech on Tech Tuesday. That's what we're doing. And that's what we love. And that's what we need. We need flipper zeros. We need flipper zeros. So everyone, go to our Patreon. Flipper zero. Whoo.
It's like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. If you keep saying flipper zero, like
so I'm hoping, like I'll go out to my mailbox and I'll just see a mysterious package and it just says flipper zero. Hey, I got a flipper zero.
Or you have an expandable the package.
Right. So there's that too. Oh man.
I wanted to see if there was anything else in the news that I didn't see.
Because I know there's a lot going on in the news, man. There was one that I saw about this hack that I saw last week that it was one to look out for. I wish I could remember the name of it. And what in the heck is going on here? So it looks like I got kicked off of TikTok because Spectrum is ass. That's all I can say. Spectrum is ass. I think we got kicked out of TikTok because Spectrum is ass.
Yeah. Top cyber threats of 2024 uncovered, and which cyber threats will be most prevalent in 2025. Total account takeover, smart home hacking, AI-powered phishing attacks, phishing using QR codes. I've seen that, and disinformation as a service. Phishing using the QR codes, yeah, I've seen that, where people are actually like going into malls and putting their own QR code like within the QR code.
Yep.
So when you
scan it
phone and put it to the QR code in a mall or on a sign or whatever, you're scanning their QR code information, and it's taking you to a website that can steal all of your information, especially on your cell phone.
Oh yeah. Or just it either takes you to a website where it steals your information, or just automatically downloads a whatever to your phone. So it's it's definitely something that is scary to watch out for. And I've seen those as well. About the QR codes, and that is for anybody listening. Randomly, just try to stay away from just randomly scanning QR codes like that. I mean, just try to stay away from scanning QR codes. Period. Because, again, I like the way that George is saying, a lot of these scammers now, they're replacing QR codes with their own, or they're adding like a QR code within it. And it's just that one little bit of information that they need just to get into your phone, to get into your bank account, to get into your social media, to get into anything that they want to.
The other thing I was the other thing I looked at was um there was and I saw it on Hack 5, the threat wire.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People were being sent in the mail like little flash drives, but the flash drives were coming from a phone carrier, like phone carrier that they would have, like AT&T or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
if you get one of these little flash drives in the mail, do not put it into your computer
No, don't do that.
because it is hacker malware, and the hacker
Mm-hmm.
malware, it goes into your computer. You put it in. It looks really nice. It looks like if your carrier was AT&T or something like that. Um, you put it into your computer. It comes up with a nice little AT&T logo, all this other stuff. But it's actually
Mm-hmm.
uploading malware to your computer, and you cannot see it. It's totally but it's totally obscure in the background. It actually works in the background, so you're not seeing what it's doing. It's going in. It's finding all your passwords to all of the places that you go on the internet. It's looking at your Facebook account,
Mm-hmm.
passwords. It's looking at all the other things, and it's trying to find things like your banking. It's trying to look at your banking. So that's what it's doing. It's trying to find passwords for your banking. Now, everybody keeps their passwords usually on their computer. I do this
Mm-hmm.
myself. I keep it on my computer, but I change the password on my computer every 90 days. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I do that every 90 days. And I do it for most sites. I do it like for Amazon, like for shopping, all the shopping sites, all this other stuff. 90 days, I change it. Just just has to be done. And I set a schedule. I put a schedule on my phone. Got to change it. I tell 'em, I tell my wife, have to change the passwords. Because on Facebook you will get like things where somebody will create an account under your name with a picture, and they'll say, "Hey, I already had friended you on Facebook, but I got another, I got
Mm-hmm.
another friend request from you on Facebook. Is that you?" And sometimes you're just not even thinking of it. You're just clicking and go, "Oh yeah, I'm friends with this other person, but I'm not friends with this guy." And then you click on it, and
Right.
now a hacker has access to your Facebook.
Yeah.
Go into your
Yeah.
Facebook, change your passwords, but just make sure you do it. I mean, I do mine every 90 days. Sometimes I try to do it like every month. For
Mm-hmm.
certain things, especially for your email. Just write it down. Keep it in your house. If you want to keep it in your phone, you can keep it in your phone under notes.
But just the main thing is that you want to keep all of your passwords in some place that is secure. That is absolutely secure. That's your main thing. Whether you write it down and you keep it in a safe, or you keep it on your phone in a password storage app, something of that nature. But you definitely want to make sure that you always want to be secure. Keep that security.
And then the other tip is, do not use the same password for everything.
No.
Don't use,
Don't use like
the
1, 2,
word
3, 4,
password
5.
as your password. Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't and
That's
don't. Yeah. Don't use like password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't do that. Don't do that.
but,
But yeah, that's another thing. Keep that security. Another tip. Whichever thing that you sign up for, multi-factor authentication. Always
multi-factor authentication, yeah.
always
Right,
enable
your
that.
phone.
always enable the multi-factor authentication because that way it could send a notification to your phone. It can send you a series of numbers that you use a authentication app, or you could actually set it as being like an actual physical USB key in which you place in your computer, and then it reads from off of the USB key and it allows you access. But you want something, you definitely want a multi-factor authentication, because your password is not enough. Just having a strong password is not enough. So you want something that extra layer of security. And
we used to use encrypted laptops when we were at Intel. So our hard drives were encrypted, and then we had an encryption server, which was if we were traveling with a laptop and we lost our laptop or it was stolen from us, the thief could not read the information on the hard drive because the hard drive was encrypted with like an encryption key. That encryption key was actually set into the encryption server that was on Intel's servers. So if you plugged it into an Intel server, you had your password. We would have these little it was like a USB generated key, and it had a little LCD screen on it. You used to plug it into a laptop, and it would generate the key for us on the little flash drive, and then you'd look at it and you'd say, oh, okay, it's 15223 whatever it was, one or whatever, and then you type that in, and then you were able to get into your laptop. That that was a way to decrypt the data that you were going to get in your laptop. So if you were traveling abroad, you're in another country, you're on a different Wi-Fi or whatever, that's where you would have that. If you were back at an Intel site, all the sites had the same encryption servers. They had all those keys, and it was fine if you were on an Intel site. So, like if I was in my lab at Intel, I could have my laptop. Actually, I had a desktop. I didn't have a laptop, but my desktop, was encrypted. So if anybody stole it and said, "Oh, I'm going to do this," you're not going to be able to use the drive at all. So, a lot of the things when I worked for, I'd worked for a pharmaceutical company for a few years, and they had an encryption server. But what I found, one of the hacks was, if you're traveling with a laptop and you can take the battery out of the laptop, like if the battery drops out, the Dells that we bought, the Dell laptops, had batteries you could take out.
Right.
And I had set, my job was ICT coordination, so I made sure that people had all the different software, the company software on their laptop, and I just made sure everything was up to, par. I said, when you're traveling, take the battery out of your laptop. And they said, why? I said, because somebody's laptop was stolen in their car. They went on a business trip, and the laptop was stolen. Right? And they said, how did they know that I had a laptop? Well, somebody was going around with a sensor, hooked up to a wire and trying to find powered laptops. Now, if your laptop is off and you still have the battery in it, it's giving out a signal. It's it's still generating a signal through that laptop. If you pull the battery out, there's no signal. And I said to them, take the battery out of the laptop. Yeah, I'm fine. And then
famous last words.
3 weeks later, the guy comes over to me and he goes, I should have listened to you. Said they broke into the rental car. They took my laptop. They took my tablet. I had a tablet. They had this. they took everything. And I was like, okay. He goes, okay, I'm going to listen to you next time.
Right.
It's like, and he's like, I need a new laptop. I was like, I was like, we don't have money in the budget. You got to wait, dude. And he's like,
So I don't know what to tell you on
it
that.
was,
I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
these things don't grow on trees, man. They're like $5,000 a laptop.
I mean, maybe next you could work it out in the budget to get a time machine so you don't. That's the only thing I can tell you. But, Jess in the comments said, I was reported dead to the Social Security Department and my bank 3 years ago. I'm still dealing with the fallout of it. Jesus Christ. So the breach happened from a phone call. Oh, so yeah. Even then, like, and even that's always been a thing. Just years is phone scams.
Yeah,
and
had that happen a while back. About when was that? October, maybe like September, October of 2024, because we have AT&T. When AT&T had the breach, like the data breach, somebody ordered 2 phones on our account. They were able to get into our account. They ordered 2 cell phones with 2 separate numbers. So, and then I only found out because my bill came, and I was like, "What the hell is this charge on the bill?"
Yeah.
And I went into the thing, and I was like, "We have 2 phones coming," and she goes, and so I had to call AT&T. They had to put a stop on everything, and they reimbursed us for the 2 phones that were ordered. They were going to come to the house, and then, but the numbers were screwed up. So they added, they added 2 numbers that were not Pennsylvania numbers. They added 2 numbers in New Jersey. So
right.
When they got rid of the numbers, they got rid of, I think it was mine. No, they got rid of like my wife's cell phone number as well. And I was like, so her phone didn't work. And I was like, oh my God. So I had to call them back up and say, no, you got rid of 3. Like, well, I see 3 on, I was like, I understand. Hers works. I was like, you have to reinstate that number because that number, is connected to everything. It's connected to all, of our healthcare stuff. I was like, you need to reinstate that number. And we had to go through so much pain and heartache to get that back, get that number back. And but I mean, it all worked out in the end, but we changed everything. We changed all of our passwords. We changed all this other stuff. And the new thing that I'm doing is we're locking down the SIMs. If you have a SIM card in your phone, there's something called an eSIM. So the new eSIM on the Apple iPhones is if you usually you will have a physical SIM card. The new thing is now you don't need the physical SIM card because SIM cards can be spoofed. They can be duplicated. So they have something called eSIM. eSIM is a file that is sent to you through email from your cellular carrier into your phone. You have to lock down your eSIM. So I actually have a password for the eSIM. So when I restart my phone, like when I turn my phone off at night and I restart it for an update or something like that, it comes up and it says, and it asks me for the password for the eSIM. I put that password in that I know, and then, I'm able to use the phone. But if somebody stole my phone, and or if I lost it and somebody recovered it and tried to get into the phone, they wouldn't be able to get into it because they don't know the eSIM password. So
that's And
that's another way to protect yourself with the eSIM.
and I read an article that said that they recommend also as well to actually restart your phone at least like once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, to in case that you may have accidentally, gone to a site or an app had an ad on it or something like that you accidentally downloaded a virus without even knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And it could evade through all kind of scans and everything like that. And essentially the way to kind of stop it from, anything else is just to restart your phone.
Yeah,
because
a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't restart their phones. They should. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I do that every night, and I turn my phone off, and then,
yeah,
I really don't need.
In the morning you turn it on, or if you had updates or anything like that, then yeah. Yes.
The one thing about my phone, my phone is hooked to all of my cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have like the Ring cameras, so
Mm-hmm.
the cats are always running around the house, and we have cameras inside the house. We have cameras inside the house, and we have cameras outside the house, and they're always running around the house. And the phone is just going, just like, like alerting me.
Because it's catching the movements.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't need to know that right now. That's why I turn my phone off. Just turn it off. I can't. I mean, I had it on by my bedside one time, and I didn't get to sleep till 6 o'clock in the morning. It was just like constant.
Just nonstop, just notification, boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
It was like, you have 72 notifications. Yeah, I know. I heard.
I heard them all.
Running down the hallway, jumping up on the bed, having zoomies. This one has a zoomie, and going around the house, and yeah. That's some of the bad things about having the cameras. Like when I used to install closed circuit TV cameras, I said, "Oh, you can get notifications on your phone." And the one guy goes, the one customer goes, "I got 182 notifications on the phone." I was like, "Well, at least you're getting notifications." He's like,
right,
like.
Well, see, at my home, I have security cameras, and they're tied into my phone as well. What actually? So the first day, it was much like everybody just notification, boom, 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 right after the other, right? So I'm looking all throughout the app because I'm thinking that there's got to be something to stop all these notifications without having me, to constantly put my phone on do not disturb, or just deny all notifications, which like I don't want to deny all notifications because I need some to come through. So I had to turn down the sensitivity on the camera from picking up the wind moving.
Right.
So
yeah,
it was one of those that it saved me so many just headaches, and I have that on the shed. I have one of the the Ring cameras on the shed that looks at the house, and we have this seagrass that grows, and it's real long. In the summertime, constantly I got like 212 like 212 notifications of just that camera alone, the seagrass going back and forth. And I try to trim it, and my wife's going, "You have to trim that more, we're getting more notifications." I go back and trim it. Like going, why don't we just pull it out of there, and then we don't need that.
And she goes, no, I like the seagrass there. It's really nice. Yeah. So, okay. So it's all, and I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, doing like the sensitivity and stuff. On the closed circuit TV cameras, when I was doing like the Pelco cameras, um, you can adjust the sensitivity, but you can also adjust what the camera looks at. So, um, with you had like a block grid, and it was all red
Hmm.
blocks, and you would take the red blocks out on the camera, so you can only look at certain things, like and if you wanted to see the entire scene, you could, but then you'd have people walking by, you know, and
Right. Right.
the one guy just, the one customer just didn't want to see people on the street walking by because the camera was just, it was recording too much action. It was just recording too much movement.
Hmm.
And I said, "So what do you want?" And he goes, "Well, I want you to block this out." So I blocked it out for him. This is in New York City. Like a jewelry store. I blocked it out for him. Then about 3 weeks later, he calls me. He calls me back and he goes, "I need you to put that. I need you to put all those blocks back." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, somebody smashed the window of the store in the middle of the night, and they, gained access through the large window that I had." And I was like, "Oh." He goes, "Yeah. Why didn't that pick it up?" I was like, "Because you told me to block it. You didn't want to see the people walking back and forth." I was like, "That."
That's going to be a
"That's the whole
problem.
reason why you put cameras in the first place." And they
So,
they
yeah.
smashed the. But the thing was, he wasn't able to see who smashed the window because the blocks were there, and the camera only looked here. It should have been looking down here.
Yeah. Right.
And he was like, and he goes, "Do you have to come to the store?" I said, "No, I could do it remotely." And and I was in New Jersey at the time, and I went to the thing, and I got on the computer. I got to his computer. I went to the security computer, and I changed it all. I said, "Okay, now you can see every." I was like, he goes, "Well, how much data is that going to take?" I said, "It's going to take as much data as it needs to take, but at least
Yeah.
you'll see who's at the door now." So, and
Right.
he wanted,
Right.
he wanted more cameras. He wanted a camera on the outside looking this way, camera
Okay.
on the outside looking this way, just looking at both cameras.
So, a no blind spot
Yeah,
type
right.
of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I,
No
I,
blind spot. The
yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, I get that.
Pelcos were really cool because they had pan and scan, so you could look at if you did pan and scan mode, they would scan 180 degrees, so the camera
Mhm.
would look this way, and it would just go back and forth every so often, and
Right.
it was going slowly, and then you can set the degree that you wanted. It was it was I think 130 degrees, something like that. It wasn't like 180 degrees, but it was like about 130
Mhm.
degrees.
Okay.
And it would go, down, it would go up and down and then go back and forth. But I mean, if there was somebody breaking in, it would just basically look at that person, and it would stop. You can actually set it to motion at that point. But yeah, it was a very, very expensive camera system at the time. The cameras were $2,500 a camera
Ooh.
at the at the time. The
Yeah.
system was in the $15,000 range.
Oh.
And you could put up the 32 cameras on one on one mod like on one box.
Okay.
And the things that thieves used to do was They used to break into a store. They would steal the DVR because if you steal the DVR, you can't really play it back. You can't. You couldn't play it back to see who the thieves were. So the other thing that Pelco made, they made this it was like an in the wall, DVR. You could put it in the wall.
Okay.
And you could put it in between the studs. It had all the other stuff. You did all your wiring connections and everything, and everything looked beautiful. And you could hang like a picture over it, or something like that, and it wouldn't look like a DVR.
All right. Okay.
And then thieves, thieves, started to find out, if there were DVRs in the wall. So they would break the wall, and then they would rip the whole system out and all this other stuff.
Oh man, yeah.
So then Pelco went to the in the wall DVR with it was cloud storage. So if you paid for cloud storage, and this guy paid for everything, but I mean, he was rich, he was a jeweler. I said, if you pay for cloud storage, if they steal the DVR, it's on cloud storage. He goes, what does that mean? I said, it's an off-site storage backup of everything that's going on in the store. And then you could retrieve it through any computer. Like you could go home and retrieve it on computer. And he goes, oh, I like that. So, yeah, he paid for that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like $500 a month for that.
Jeez.
You got the money, man.
Well, you got the money for it, yeah. So, and here's the thing, man. And in his situation, is that you can't afford not to.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is on that one. So
he had like a vestibule, like when you walked into his store, he had this small little vestibule. The windows were bulletproof. They were bullet resistant. You could not shoot through it. You couldn't shoot the lock or anything like that. The locks were like this. I mean, it was like
I believe it.
knocks.
I believe it.
And then, and you could only go by appointment. So, and then you would have to tell him how many people were going to be in the store at one time. He only put up to 3 people because you could only fit 3 people in the vestibule, like if that.
Okay.
You can only put 2 people in, and then like a person would have to stay outside, and then they'd have to come in, into the vestibule. It was like a very small box. So I was like,
okay.
So, if you let this person into the shop, and this person pulled out a gun, they were stuck there until the police, came.
Yeah.
There was no way, because people would just. I said, I said, how many times have you had like the front window broken? He goes, too numerous to count. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. He said, I got this, and then I got a Kevlar. He got a not Kevlar. Is like a bullet resistant glass.
Okay.
He had 3-inch acrylic. He had all these different, glass things, and he finally found this company, actually from the Sudan, that makes this very thin glass. It's bullet resistant. You can hit it with a sledgehammer. It won't break. You can hit it with like a crowbar. But the span was huge. It was a huge glass, and it actually had the name etched onto it. I said, "How much was that span?" He goes, "If I sold that span tomorrow, I could pay for this whole store and then some." I was like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah."
Wow.
He said, "The glass and the vestibule are more money than whatever I have in the store." I was like, "Wow." wow, it's like,
wow.
this place must be like Fort Knox. He's like, going, yeah, I've been robbed too many times. So,
yeah, that's definitely the I've been robbed too many times security kit. But oh man, so just at December 31st, 2022, it happened. Somebody called her bank and told them that she was dead. Now that is something that, again, that's just scary.
That is scary.
That somebody could just randomly call your bank and say, hey, they did. And then all your money is gone. You know, whatever the case is, gone. Just gone. It said the bank returned my social security checks, and that caused a chain reaction of all kinds of shit. Yeah, I bet. Oh my god. Wow. And just to think that just random people like that can just cause that much havoc, and just simply because they know that a tiny shred of information about you.
Well, a lot of people do that, like on Facebook. They put all this stuff out there, and
yeah,
certain things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the thing is that is something that somebody knew. Somebody knew you, Jess. They knew who you were. They knew where you banked at. They knew that stuff about you. So I don't know who you pissed off, but oh my god! But that is horrible. That's horrible. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Jeez. But, and again, just be careful what you share online, people. Just be careful. Because, like, just right there, she what happened to her? That could happen to any of us. If we just share the right bit of information to the wrong person.
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah, scary times, but you know what? There's way to stay safe. So that is what we're here for, people. That is what we're here to do. To help you stay safe. Try to anyways, because I mean, hell, with this administration coming in and them already having so much access to your accounts already, there's still ways to protect yourself. It's difficult, but there's still ways to do that. And
I don't really call them an administration. They can't administer a Band-Aid. I call them a regime.
Well, that's more accurate. Yeah.
It wasn't an inauguration. It was an installation. They installed
that. That's fair and accurate assessment. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to call him what Thomas usually calls him.
The Incredible Melting Man of Mar-a-Lago, or what?
Said no. Elon's workforce.
Oh.
His Doge department.
Was it the douchebags of government efficiency?
Yes, them.
Oh god.
Because this is well, I wouldn't say family friendly, but a friendly-ish show. So
Friendly-ish.
yeah. I mean, we're here to help, so I mean, we're friendly enough to help. Yes. I mean, we're not. I mean, we're not going to call you stupid to your face. I mean, you may do something dumb, but I mean, we're not going to do that to your face. No. Behind your back, that's a different story. But to your face, no.
There are no stupid questions. There are just unanswered ones. That's all. That's all. I have some. I have a moniker on my Facebook that I'll bend over backwards for anybody. I just won't bend over forwards. So there you go.
Well, if you think about it, folks, you'll do the same thing.
So.
J. Tom said that's why I deactivated my Twitter. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's understandable. That's understandable. I mean, all across these other platforms and everything like that, between, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever one you call it, Blue Sky, TikTok, be careful what you share. Even the tiniest bit of information can get you hemmed up in something. And even as the tiniest bit of innocent information, it can get you hemmed up in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not saying this, to discourage anybody from signing up on social media platforms or anything like that, because, I mean, we're social creatures. We need to socialize, and social media is, this every platform allows us to connect like that with people, whatever distance apart, with easily.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the bad guys know that, and they capitalize on that. And that's what they look for. So just be careful, people. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful.
And don't answer any spam calls. I get the same spam call all the time. Just trying to find my information. And the other one is they want you to say yes to something. Like they said, is this is this Techno George or this is George? And if you say yes,
then that's all they need.
Giving them a digital signature to say yes to everything, and they could probably they could possibly scam you that way. So
yeah, absolutely. And all they will really need is just to hear you say yes. That's all they would need, because then they could just use that recording of you, to do anything that they wanted to. And
information.
Yeah, get your bank information, get sign up for credit cards,
right.
Anything like that, because they've got you on recording saying that you consent to this or yes to that, or I'm blah 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 blah, I live at blah 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 blah, and yes, I consent to this, and yes, I da 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 da, and that's all they need, because they got you recorded saying that. So even if you try to call up to whatever place and try to dispute that, they've got recordings of it, and they heard clearly your voice saying yes. So it makes it that much harder, for you to say my identity was stolen, because we've got this pitch perfect audio recording of you saying
you authorized it. Yeah, you authorized it with your voice, right?
So
it was if a hacker or if somebody asks me for my address, I always say 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Like going, that's where all the money is. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
I thought you were about to say 2121 Mockingbird Lane.
No, it was 1313 Mockingbird Lane. It was funny because I used to live at 13. I used to live at 1319 Littleton Road in Parsippany, which is funny. But no,
I was thinking 21 Bleecker Street. Sherlock Holmes.
21 Bleecker Street.
And I got the two confused. That's it.
Yeah, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. There you go. That's where I live.
But yeah, it's scary sometimes because of course, naturally, you want to share some stuff, just simply because that's just human nature. That's just how we are. We love to brag. That's just what we do. But again, and you just share the wrong thing. So, and a lot of times what we get a lot of people is let's say you gone out of town on a trip and you posting it all over on Instagram and all on Snapchat and all on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and everywhere. Oh, here I am, I'm at, I'm at Disney World having a great time. I'm here at Universal Studios. I'm over here, I'm the greatest time ever, blah, 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 blah. I'll be back to, I'm going back home tomorrow and I'm leaving here and da, da, da. And by the time you get back to your house tomorrow, somebody sold it. So, and for anybody thinking is that, oh, this is my house. How can anybody ever, sell my house for money? Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, they can. They can. If you, what I was always told and I learned that the way you can get a hacker to target you is you piss him off or piss her off. You piss them off. Then you got their attention. You don't want that. You don't want that because then you end up just like all of a sudden you go into work one day, you've lost your job. You go home, your house is sold from under you. Mm-hmm. You try to go to the bank, then all of a sudden, just like you're dead. So and what's crazy is that this could just come from just one person that just does enough digging about you and could use all of that to completely destroy your whole life. Yeah. So again, there are ways to keep yourself protected. So, don't everybody being like, oh my God, and be all in a panic. There are ways to keep yourself safe. That's what we're here for. To let you know the danger, but also let you know which way to keep yourself safe.
You always have to be on your guard for everything now. And there's just like so much information overload out there, like cell phones and stuff like that, and
right.
Scammers will do anything. They'll. I mean, there was the one, the one I saw was, like collecting for like the 9/11 victims. I'm like, wait a minute. It's like 2024. Still collecting for 9/11 victims. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. So, and oh my gosh,
Uh-oh. We either got a mom situation or a doggy situation. Is it a doggy situation?
It's a doggy situation. I don't know what she wants. I think she just wants some attention. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, she just wants some attention. Because doesn't want to go outside. She just wants some attention. Because,
Yeah, I know.
She gets antsy.
I know. I'll get that, at 8 o'clock, with it.
With Jeff, yeah, you'll get...
No. At 8 o'clock, I'll have 3 cats here. Where's my snack? And they'll be looking up at me going, meow. Like, yeah.
He's like, yo, it's 8. It's 8.
It's 8. Where's the grub?
It's like, hey, it's 8. I mean, you're there, I'm here. You're not moving. It's 8.
You're sitting down. You're not doing anything. Where's my grub? And then, and then my wife will call me because she's at her dad's. Like she'll call me and she'll go, "Did you feed the cats?" I'm like, "Did you know I have 2 shows to do today?" "Oh no, I forgot." "Oh yeah, I got 2 shows to do today."
So yeah.
I have to keep I have to keep reminding her when she's away. So.
But yeah, it's it's a little scary out there. It is, not gonna lie, So, but and again, people, just be careful. Just be careful about what you share. Be careful who you talk to. Just be careful who people you rub the wrong way, because you don't know who they are.
Everyone.
You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're capable of doing.
Be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
Don't write a check with your mouth that your body can't cash. Just understand that.
And again, you're not saying that, you have to be, the most agreeable, polite, where everybody thinks they could just take advantage of you and they talk to you any way they want to. No, just be cordial. You don't have to, say, "Oh, hello, here, let me give you the..." No, you don't have to go that far. Just be cordial. Just be cordial.
If you want
be cordial and keep it moving.
Screw off. You could say, "Bless your heart." There you can.
You don't want to do that here. You don't want to say that. You don't want to say that phrase here, because that will get you attention here. The further to give everybody context clues, if the further down south you go, the phrase "bless your heart" carries a different meaning. Right here, at this far down south, "bless your heart" is a nice way of saying F you.
Yes.
So, just to let everybody know, you don't want to say that.
And just remember,
down south,
it's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
It's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Yes. Past that, it's "bless your heart" means F you. But looks like we are coming near to the end of this show. This was a great show, man.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Great show, man. And appreciate everybody in this.
We help somebody.
Yeah. So we've been.
Yeah.
Everybody's now starting to come with with their problems and the questions, and so that's great, man. I love it. A
little bit of interaction with the chat, and we we thank everybody who's been in the chat, and
yeah, especially if again you have computer problems, hit us up. Send us an email, gcprhelpdesk@gmail.com. hit us up on the chat. We're here every Tuesday. You got a question, we're here to help. That's what we're here for. See, Jess in the chat, she had a battery that blew up.
Yep.
So if we were there physically, we could be there to actually physically help her. But hey, best we could do is, hey, this is what you got to do. So it is what it is, and that's what you got to do. So this show is brought to you in part by cns-computers.com. So cns-computers. You went to the wrong site, didn't you? You downloaded something you shouldn't have downloaded, and now you got a whammy. And you need something, and you need somebody to fix it. Much like Jess with a busted up battery. Go on down to cns-computers.com, and they will get you all squared away. Servicing the Stroudsburg and East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania area. cns-computers.com. They will get you all squared away. Tell them George sent you. Will they give you a discount? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Try it and see. The worst thing you do is say no. Or just go down and say hi. They like that too. Go down and visit them. cns-computers.com. Get your system fixed today. Oh, man. So coming up next, what we got next? Coming up next, we have got TKE Tonight with Jeff Kennedy.
You have TKE Tonight.
And what else we have got? We have
Hurricane Girls.
The Hurricane Girls tonight with Sheila Chappelle and her crew. At 9 o'clock, yep. And ending the night, we have conversations with T. Nathan. So stick around. You're going to learn something. You're going to laugh a little bit. You're going to learn a little bit. So, yeah. You got a great show. Great lineup of shows coming up. And, yeah. Stick around. You're going to learn something. You're going to have a great time.
I got to jump into that Zoom, so.
Yeah, so
double duty.
So while you will not see this lovely face anymore, you will see that lovely face over there. Wait, here? What?
It's over.
That right there. Okay.
There. No, the other way.
Wait. Yes.
Well, on my on my end, it's over there.
You'll see the other
to the right. You're over to the left.
You'll see the other face. Not this face, but see that face right there.
You will see my face on TKE Tonight, but I do have a face for radio, as Jeff always says that he does. Well, so. I'm not Elephant Man ugly, but I am definitely unattractive. I just don't, I don't see myself like that. So.
Well, I always say I always say that I don't make babies cry, and small animals don't run away from me. So I've got that going for me. So I consider that a win.
I'm not an animal.
I'm not an animal.
Sorry. All right.
And on that note, I think we just go.
We're going to end this.
We're going to end this. And on that note, and so yeah. Again, great show. So anybody, send us your tech questions. GCPR Helpdesk at gmail.com. Or send us a DM. Let us know your tech questions. And hey, we'll talk about it and give you some solutions and some answers next week. Or show up in the chat. So I'm the Angry IT Nerd. I am Gilbert. This is the Techno George, the greatest co-host ever on the internet. So everyone,